like to invite the dignitaries Nagendra Pratap Singh sir and Shivanath sir to come with us. Please sir. It is my great honor and pleasure to welcome Dr. Vidyasagar sir, who is Special Chief Secretary, retired. Your presence here today is a tremendous honor and adds immense value to our gathering. Now, I would like to give brief introduction about our chief guest, Dr. Vidyasagar sir. Dr. Vidyasagar sir is a retired IAS officer. He advocated the implementation of e-governance policy in various projects like welfare departments. As of now, the scheme has been implemented in almost 12,000 institutions across the state. Dr. Vidyasagar sir articulated in an interview that we are having 20,000 courses covering dozens of universities across the world. 6,000 courses per annum involving 26 lakh students. The entire system has been placed online to ensure that people from grassroots level are able to understand the system and process over the period of time. Transparency and accountability have improved tremendously. We are privileged to have someone of your stature. We look forward to your insight and wisdom, and your participation will undoubtedly enrich our discussion and inspire us all. Once again, we welcome you, sir, and we are immensely happy to have you here. Thank you. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to the chief guest to start the session. Please, sir.
So good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
So I'm extremely happy to be here when I see so many young girl students at one place with one and only aspiration to become civil servants. It's not just to make something out of their life, but specifically, all of you want to become civil servants. And my first preference in my life also is to see the women to be the backbone of the society. You are the society. Unless woman makes a statement that I am confident and I am capable and I shall do this, I can go any way, then only we can say a country is really developed and civilized. Any country which makes or gives each a girl child or a young woman or a lady to feel confident to go out and pursue what. Are you able to hear? Is it clear? The mic and the voice. Okay. So unless or until that time, we cannot say any country is civilized or developed. We tend to claim that we have great civilization, our culture is great. But unfortunately, we are not standing up to that. Do you agree with me or not? In our country, can we say confidently that we are a great civilization? We have a great culture, we have a great past and a glorious past where women were treated with utmost respect, care. Do you believe? It's not. But unfortunately, we are made to believe that. You are here to understand that yourself, that is, to know the reality by your own efforts, and also to change that reality into a better way. Okay, now the program's name is called Samvad. So why should I keep speaking to you? Let's have a kind of the Samvad, the dialogue. If you have some questions or doubts or seeking clarifications or you have your own opinions, first I would like to get those from you, and then based on that we can go on discussing things depending on the nature and the scope and the depth of your doubts. Shall we have that? Or you want me to just keep speaking? Samvad cannot be a monologue, isn't it? Samvad means a dialogue. Okay. So first you should start. Because you are the students, you are the youngsters, and you are the future of our society. So let's start with you first. Do not hesitate to express yourself in any language. Language should not be a barrier, or inhibitions should not be there. That is the first qualification to be in public service. We have to get out of inhibitions.
Yes, sir. I'm taking this opportunity and
Okay.
actually, on behalf of the students,
Okay.
one of the questions that comes to my mind is when you highlighted that there are certain things that we need to improve for the India's growth and kind of country that we want to see. What values these students should imbibe so that they can actually perform or help us achieve that goal of India being the nation of our dreams. So, what values you want them to imbibe? What's your understanding? Based on that, we can ask more questions. Okay?
Okay, I'll provoke you to ask questions. Since you are not coming up with your own questions, I'll provoke you. What is your idea of civil service? What is your idea? Anyone? What is your idea of civil service? No problem. You can speak in Telugu wherever you are comfortable. Your comfort is most important. Be comfortable with yourself. Expressing yourself is more important than come.
Sir, when you were of our age, sir, you must be having like any kind of like I mean to say it must be your dream otherwise to become an IAS officer, otherwise to crack the I mean India's hardest exam UPS, sir. May I know what motivated you? Otherwise, what kept you positive in such a hard phase? Because it is a long term, not a short term.
So what motivated me? Okay, good. First and foremost thing, what motivated me was to be myself. Do you get me?
Yes, sir.
I wanted to be myself. You may think that since I could become an IAS officer, I must have studied very hard. No, I never studied very hard. Let me admit with you, I never studied very hard. But I studied with love to read, the pleasure. Reading for pleasure, not reading for an examination, or not reading to know what is what. Reading for pleasure. When do you get that? You read for pleasure only when your mind is free and open. So first and foremost thing all of you should do is do not have any kind of inhibitions about yourself. Maybe whatever could be your circumstances, your family conditions, as a person and as an individual, as a person, as an individual, but not necessarily to prove yourself that you are something. No, you need not prove, but live. Live as a person. That means read what you would like to read. Read when you would like to read. Read when you can enjoy reading. Three things. Read what you like to read. Read when you like to read. And stop when you don't enjoy reading. But don't stop reading. There are two ways of reading. One, when you feel like reading, read something which is interesting to you or something difficult to you. When you get bored, go for something light. That means read nonsense. No problem, because everything, somebody's nonsense is somebody's essence and wisdom. Unless you know what is nonsense, how can you make sense? So read everything. Read everything. But that should be, again, see, that is an instrument to you to refresh your mind. Reading nonsense is not for the sake of reading nonsense. Taking a break. Take a break. That means what? Don't put your mind under stress. Thinking that I have a civil service examination to give and I have a lot of things to read and there are many expectations on me by my parents, friends. So that's why you should not be under the stress. Means what? All these three things make you or give you a personality. That means you do what you like, you do it when you like, you do it in your own way. When I said read nonsense also, that's what is the meaning of it? When you feel you are bored, even then keep reading, but change. Then what motivated me? As I told you, to be myself. As I said, I was not a very hard-working student, or I was not that kind of a very studious kind of a person. But I was not happy-go-lucky. I can tell you that much. I was not happy-go-lucky. Basically, I like outdoors. I like staying outside my home or outside The general place, because since the beginning, I used to go to jungles, because I should tell you, I love cattle grazing, cattle rearing, taking them to the jungles, watching them grazing, and me doing whatever I felt like. So in the process, I learned what is nature, enjoying nature. Don't confine yourself to a place thinking that you have a great job to do, like achieving civil service. Go out, go out, get fresh air, relax, and come back. Do whatever you feel like. That's why going outside, liking outdoors means you are recharging yourself instead of depending on some external factor. Your generation is dependent on external factor. That is, either it could be cell phone, or either it could be TV program, or maybe something should stimulate you to enjoy your life. But remember, you should know how to enjoy, or how to make or create your own happiness by your own efforts. That means try to relax. Try to relax. Never be dependent on something all the time. That includes your own parents. Never depend on anybody, including your parents. Don't depend on anybody for that matter, totally. But whom you should depend on? Yourself. Yourself. So I told you now 3 things about your personality. 1, be yourself. 2, do what you want to do. 3, enjoy it. When you are doing something, enjoy it. 4, I said, be self-dependent. Be self-dependent. And the 5th one is, when you read something, it's not to remember it. Remember it clearly. When you read something, you are not reading it to remember. But why are you reading for? Understanding means what? What is the meaning of understanding? What do you think? What is the meaning of understanding? Clear ga? ఏ ఒక్కరైనా చెప్పొచ్చు. Be clear. What's your name? Good name? Priya. Priya? Okay. So what is understanding? Understanding means 3 things. 1, you should be able to express that in your own words. You should express that in your own words. That is about talking. But putting it in writing is extremely difficult. You can speak something, but when it comes to writing, it's very difficult. You should be able to put it in writing. And 3rd thing is further most difficult. Telling it to others, make them feel what you want to convey. You got it? Understanding means three things. You should be able to express it in your own words. Number two, you should be able to write it, put it in writing. Then when you express it to somebody else, you should be able to make them feel that what you wanted to convey. You convey something, the other person gets something else. What is the purpose of telling? In public service, in civil service, the most important thing is conveying. You can't, like me, just keep on talking. In the public service, you face a problem. When you face a problem, you can't expect people to listen to you. They will be restless. They are seeking a solution because they are facing a problem. So there you can't give, sit down, Priya. So there you can't have a kind of a monologue. Like you do this, and these are my problems. Perhaps these are the problems of the society. You can't go on giving a lecture. What you should do? You should be able to convey them depending on the situation before you. Understanding the problem quickly, giving a solution, finding a solution quickly, but at the same time conveying it to them, which should be convincing. It's not just conveying. You are not conveying your decision. You are conveying your opinion, which should make them feel, yes, this appears to be okay. So the first thing I asked you, what is your idea of civil service? Though Priya attempted, but somehow she has not given full, idea of what is it. I'll give you maybe a usual prelims style. 4 options. 1, it's a great job. 2, it gives you great understanding, not understanding, status. A great job, a great status, that means a great recognition. 3, it gives you all facilities, that is, creature comforts. Number 4, that gives you to do nonsense and get away with it. Which 4 of you? Which 4 of them? Your idea? Huh? None of them? Or none of them? Okay, now I'll give you the 5th one. As member of this society, let me do my bit to improve my society. Don't think about the great country. Think about your own surroundings. Can I improve this society a bit? Can I make this society a bit better than what I found at present? Can it be an option? No? It cannot be an option. Huh? I think you're all in a serious doubt. Of these 5, what? This is not an option. It's an option. Okay. If it is an option, you will be happy. That means you are seeking happiness from out of your own efforts. Because you have an idea why you want to go for a particular job. But remember, civil service is not just a job. It's not just a job. You may be seeing many officers, maybe because of various reasons, faltering, committing serious mistakes, and degrading themselves, or giving an impression that if this is IAS, should I get into it? But they are not the examples. You have rotten eggs everywhere, but they cannot be examples to us, or they should not demotivate us to do what we want to do. When I say civil services is not a job means, it is a kind of it should become a preoccupation to you. It's an instrument for you to realize yourself. Whatever you want to achieve, because after all, as individuals, we can't do everything. We can't do everything. It's not possible. But at the same time, we should know what we can do. We can't simply say we can't do anything and then escape. And you can't say that I can do everything, but I don't know where to start. There are some people who think that I want to do many things, but I don't know where to start. What is the purpose? If you have too many things in your mind, but you don't know where to start, that is also not of use. Number 3, some people say that even if I do something, the society is not going to change. So why should I take the trouble? Should we have this attitude? No. Remember, this world was totally nasty and troublesome, degenerate, even 2000 years back, and is equally degenerate now. So don't think that in the past things used to be good, great, glorious. No. In the past, we had a kind of a nasty, totally degenerate kind of social order, social beliefs. So now it is fashionable to say woman or women is, do you know what is the remaining two other words of the sentence? Huh? Half of the sky. Have you heard of it? Women are half of the sky. That means they are 50% of everything. Everything means what? Everything means in the kitchen. But one great Telugu poetess, I think her name must be Mandarapu Haimavati or so. She said, వంటింట్లో మా అమ్మ మహారాణి, వంటింట్లో మా అమ్మ మహారాణి, గిన్నెలన్నిటి మీద మా నాన్నగారి పేరే. అర్థమైందా? వంటింట్లో మా అమ్మగారు మహారాణి, గిన్నెలన్నిటి మీద మా నాన్నగారి పేరే. So that is the half of the sky. Would you like to change that half? Yes. Who should change it? We should change it. We are the world. We are the world. We are the society. And we are responsible for our own our own progress. That's why I said, don't depend on somebody to get what you want. Why don't you do it yourself? Try yourself. That's why here, when I said civil services is not just a job, what I meant was it's an instrument to realize what you would like to change, even a bit of it, in the society which you would like to see. That's why don't just like that clear the exam and take the job, keep doing in a routine manner. Instead, have your own priorities like they may be insignificant now, but if you start, keep 2 or 3 priorities of your own priorities, keep working on them. While doing your routine work as an officer, have 2, 3 priorities of your own, working on them. You may not see the results when you are there. But once you left the place, maybe even after 20 years or 30 years, you will see the results. Somebody would come back and tell you, sir, what you have started. Sorry, madam. Madam, what you have started has produced results. I am the product of it. They should come back to you. I'll give you an example. Of course, my wife is also an IAS officer. She retired as a Chief Secretary, Karnataka. Retired in 2018. You know why I married an IAS officer? So that somebody should be there to stop me when I'm doing something nonsensical. Basically, to stop me doing something nonsensical. When you have an equal, but actually she is my senior, not just equal. I married my senior. She could have been my trainer. She was joint collector when I was a probationer. I married my joint collector who was training me as probationer. But anyway, so there, she has an interesting experience. Of course, the Prime Minister had to notice that. What was that? When she was going on some tour, she saw a school. Close to that school, a child rearing cat. It had given her an idea. Here is a school, whereas this boy is grazing cat. This boy should be in the school. Though he was saying that there is a school, he is not in a position to go to the school. So immediately, she stopped the vehicle, took that boy to the school, told that headmaster, admit this boy. Headmaster has admitted, maybe 30 years later, when she was about to take charge as Chief Secretary of Karnataka, this man came for her, taking charge ceremony and said, Amma, this is Yadagiri, the boy who you admitted in this school. Now I am a police constable. That is enough for each one of us to do. There is an advertisement. It's a beautiful advertisement which tells you about what you should do. What you should do under whatever circumstances. Do your bit. keep the engine fit. Have you heard of that ad? Do your bit, keep the engine fit. Means what? Don't think you have to do something great to get things going. Instead, do your small bit so that rest of the things also will fall in place. Never think that my small little contribution may not make any difference. No, it does make a difference in the society. Do whatever that is possible to you. So that is about your idea. Then about the I told you about what exactly is a civil service. Civil service is an instrument for you to realize what you are. And then always remember, your own personality will save you. Your own personality will save you at all times. And what is personality? The personality is one, never underestimate yourself. Never underestimate yourself. Number two, bro, never overestimate yourself. And never be an escapist. Never underestimate, never overestimate, never be an escapist. That's why I told you, do your bit, keep the engine fit means whatever little you can do, do it. Instead of thinking that little bit may not change anything. No, it does change. Why I'm telling you this? Because in these civil services, you are a part of a system. You are not alone. You are not everything. You are not everything. Don't think you can take a decision and that will be implemented automatically. Or don't think you have expressed your opinion that everybody should accept it. No. In our system, in any system, you have your equals. That is a peer group. You have your higher-ups, and you have your subordinates. You should always know you are somewhere in this chain. That means what? You are not everything. And you are not there to decide everything. You are there to understand what your higher-ups are saying and what your subordinates are saying, and then say what you want to say. And whatever you said is not agreed upon or agreed by your higher-ups, forget it. Because you did your bit. Don't fight over things which are not in your control. Don't lose sleep over things which you cannot change. There are three things. What is that? If you can change something, change it. If you cannot change something, accept it. Accept it. But you need not accept everything all the time. If somebody can, or somebody has the capacity to change it, tell them. So that way, all the time you are doing your work in your own way. Never think your role is limited or you cannot change anything. We are all there to change collectively. We are not there to change individually. We are in a democracy. Democracy means what? Going by the sensible people's view, not senseless people's view. Sensible people's view. Because there are many people who think senselessly because they have been taught there is power in that. Senseless thinking has an advantage in our country that gives you power to trouble others and seeking happiness. The first victims of that is women. Why men trouble women? They get happiness out of it. You must remember, it's not that they are doing it just for the heck of it. No. They get happiness out of it because when they are not able to do something on their own, or when they are not up to somebody's expectations, they have to show or they have to express themselves or let out their anguish somewhere. Where is that somewhere? Woman. For the entire society, it is a woman who takes the brunt of all the social evils of our society. It is the ultimate place, ultimate incidence of social wrongs is on woman. So that's why your role is very important. And at the same time, you should enjoy that role. For that, you have to imbibe a kind of a personality. What is that personality? Not thinking that you are not capable. You should always think that I am capable. You will become capable when you try it. Without trying, if you declare that I can't do this, what does it mean? You are escaping. Try. If you fail, it's okay. Failing after trial is okay. But coming to a conclusion without trying is not okay. So that's why never think that you cannot do it. One. Number two, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself by means of acquiring what it takes, what it requires. That is, what it requires in civil services is you should be well informed. Informed means what? You should know what is the latest status of that particular thing. Once you know what is what, then take a decision, then discuss, put it in the system, then ultimately it is the system which should take care of it. That means do your bit. Then if somebody doesn't agree with you in the system, don't worry. Don't brood over it. Don't feel sad about it. You did your work and left it at that. Then another one in And right now, your immediate problem is the examination. How to face the examination? You must remember, this examination is not to test your knowledge alone. This examination is not to test your knowledge alone. And what else? Your personality. Your personality means, one, do you know what you are doing? Why are you entering the civil service? That is the meaning of knowing what you are doing. Two, do you know whether you are up to it or not? Whether you are capable of. And three, how do you face a problem? In the face of a problem, do you face it or run away from the problem or throwing it on somebody else? What? Face. You have to face the problem. When all the people are sleeping, you have to be awake. That is the ultimate test of a developed society. When all the people, if all the people have to sleep well, you should be working without grudging or without having that great feeling that I am sacrificing. You are not sacrificing anything. You are paid for it. Remember, whatever you are doing, you are being paid for it. And you are getting an enormous kind of a recognition and also that kind of a respect. When all the people come to you just out of love, saying that we got this because of you. You may not have done anything directly, but a speech given by you, a scheme implemented by you, or a help extended to somebody who helped somebody. In any of these cases, you have done that as part of your work. But that has changed the that has changed the life of somebody. So that's why don't think you have sacrificed. We are not here to sacrifice anything. We are here to do our duty. But while doing the duty, we should enjoy that duty. When can you enjoy it? You can enjoy it only when your personality goes with it. Your personal feelings tell something, whereas your problem tells something else. What happens? You will be in a serious, stressful condition. Then you will choose those three options. Either running away, or blame it on somebody else, or sleeping over the problem, saying that there is no problem, everything is all right, sab theek hai. Simply saying everything is all right, because you don't want to admit that there is a problem. So that's why I always remember, it's not just a job. Similarly, the exam is also not just an exam to test your knowledge, but your personality. That personality comes from your own efforts. It won't come by imitating somebody, or it won't come by strongly desiring that I should be a good person. No. You have to work for it. And you should do it continuously. You have to refine yourself. You have to question yourself. You have to question yourself. You have to change yourself. Never go by fixed opinions. Simply because you are believing something, it doesn't mean that should be right. When somebody tells us we are wrong, we get offended. It's natural. Nothing, nothing unnatural about it. You get offended. But remember, at that point of time, you may have confronted them. But when you are alone, think about it. Did I do right thing? Then try to improve yourself. These are all part of improving one's own personality. These things will not come by imitating somebody or reading a lot of self-help books, lot of personality development books, or hearing YouTube videos. We have to develop that by our own efforts. This is the age. Remember that. This is the age where you should develop your personality. You may be very intelligent, very hardworking, but if you lack personality, what happens is because of your wrong personality, people will be victims. And then you will become a victim yourself. So that's why never treat civil service is just a job, or this examination is just an examination to get into service. This examination is the first test. It is the first test, not only to test your stock of knowledge, but your personality traits also. What are your personality traits? Then we'll come to the next, perhaps the last. That is, getting into civil service is much easier than being a good civil servant. Getting into civil service is much easier than being a good civil servant. That again comes only when you have your own personality. Taking things as they come. Take things as they come and try to address them to the best of your ability. Try to address them to the best of your ability. After doing your bit, leave it to the system to take care. Don't think that everything is on your head. And don't think that you are alone or responsible. No. I think now I'm more or less completed what I wanted. More or less I have completed what I wanted to convey in a capsule. Like, what is important is your personality, enjoying your life while doing something. Never think that working in as a civil servant is foregoing everything, thinking that you are sacrificing everything. You should sacrifice it. No. Enjoy your life. After all, life is to enjoy it, not to cry over it, not to brood over it, not to feel that you are sacrificing something, or not to feel that you are doing something great. No, you should enjoy your life. Life is bigger than your job. So you have life before entering the service. You will have life after retiring from service. Actually, that is more. You have 20 years of life before entering the service. You have 40 years after retiring from the service. That means you have more life than the service. So it depends on how you enjoy the life of 20 years to getting ready to get into service, and how you spend your remaining 40 years after retirement depends on how you work during those 40 years. So ultimately, life is in your hands or somebody's hands? It's in your own hands. When life is in your own hands, you will be happier person or a person feeling that. So ultimately, it is the happiness, as they say, it's happiness to build. Ultimately, what? What is the life for? Life to be happy. There is no liberation, moksha, dharma, great thing. No. There is nothing like that. Be happy, help others, take help from others when needed. Be happy. In the process, help others. When you help others, you are not doing a favor. You are making them feel comfortable to approach you. People feel that you are an approachable person. But generally, in our country, because of our social system, they are very much scared of approaching us, the civil servants. So when you help somebody, many people get the idea that this person is approachable. Remember, always people come to those who are approachable. But don't go to those officers who are not approachable. That is a human tendency. And when you are approachable, they question you. Don't think that since I have allowed this fellow, he is questioning me. No, it's not that. That is the measure of affection that fellow has for you. When he is questioning you means he is feeling totally comfortable with you. He is feeling that there is somebody who can listen to me. That is the problem, that is the doubt, that is the clarification he was seeking for a lifetime. When he found somebody who is approachable, he thinks that I can ask this also. I can ask this question also. I'll give you an example from my book. Of course, I written that book sometime in 33 years back. There was one story. Badkanistara Saru. That means, will they allow me to live it, sir? Will they allow me, a person who had many problems at every stage in the bureaucracy, from Sarpanch level to Mandal level to Tahsil level to division level to collectorate level. At every place, he was stopped. He was going around all these offices, but he couldn't get his simple problem not solved. That is, he got the work done. He spent his own money. He has to get back that money. He spent money by borrowing it from someone. So unless he gets back the money, he can't repay it. So that's why he's going around all the offices. But in our system, you know how it functions? One day, a person in the office absents himself, and the other man says, since he is absent, that work can't be done. Next day, you go there. They say that there is an optional holiday, so that's why the other person takes taken that optional holiday. The next day, I'm not well, I'm going home, so that can't be done. So how many days are gone in a week? 3 days. And this man comes because he has to go back and see something at his home also. He has to take care of his home also. So he comes again on Monday. On Monday, the head of the office who should be there will not be there. And the staff say that what can be done? See, the boss is not there. Even if I do something, even if I modify it, this can't be get done immediately. And this fellow said, sir, how can sirs means employees, government employees, have so many excuses and so many festivals and so many problems and say that they cannot do this thing. So what do you say? That's why I have come to you, sir. That means what? He is giving me an answer, paying in my own, like paying in the same coin. He said, why did you come to me when there are so many levels? Why did you come to me? Since all those people are not paying attention to me, I had to come to you. Okay. He started coming, and then I had to talk to all these people at various levels. Ultimately, I got his problem solved. After that, he kept on coming to me for some other problems, or sometimes he used to bring that first yield of the crop to offer me, like మొక్కజొన్న పొత్తులు లేకుంటే కొత్త కందిపప్పు. Sir, this is what we have produced this year. He used to bring. So he used to argue with me. I asked him, when you are arguing with me, why didn't you do the same thing with all those people at different levels? Then he said, Bhatkanistara, sir, you are giving me an opportunity to talk to you. You have taken my problem seriously. And you talk to various people at various levels, though they are your subordinates. They have to implement your orders. Since they didn't do it, you spoke to them. You have taken all this. Though you may say it is your duty, but then you did it. Whereas, if I do any of these things with any of those people, I cannot enter that office again. I cannot enter this office again. Bhatkanistara saru ante, that is the meaning of it. Can I survive in this system if I start arguing? So that's why in India, majority of the people, they suffer rather than approaching a government office. As women suffer silently, that is, since 15% of women are suffering silently, world is going as if we are peaceful. Similarly, all those people who are working are suffering. We are thinking that world is going peacefully. No. Majority of people are suffering and accepting that suffering as something unchangeable. You are there to change a bit of it. Just a bit of it. So that's why don't think civil service is a job. Don't think helping somebody is just a kind of a favor. Don't think you are sacrificing something. Don't think this is a kind of a great responsibility on your head. You are bearing with it with a great difficulty. Don't entertain all these ideas. Be happy with life. When you are happy, you'll be relaxed. When you are relaxed, your mind works better. Not under when you are stressed. All these things come only when you have a personality. What is that personality? Which takes things as they come. Never thinking that you are too great or too small. You are like anybody else. You are like anybody else. You are an equal. You have a very right to change. You have a very right to express yourself. You have a very right to do your bit. Do it. Do it with confidence. Confidence will come with hard work. Confidence gives you competence. Competence makes you self-respecting. Your self-respect should come because of your competence, not by requesting somebody to respect you. Hard work alone makes you competent. Hard work means not how many hours you have studied, but how much you have really grasped. How much you are able to express yourself. And how far you can make the other person feel that what you want to convey. So if that is so, what happens? You will take life as it comes. Be happy with your life and do your bit to the society at large. And then people will come to you when you retire. You will retire peacefully. Not with any regrets. Not with any regrets. Some people regret their retirement thinking that they have three problems. You know what are their problems at the time of retirement? From tomorrow onwards, there will nobody to listen to me. Listen to means what? To suffer me. Listen to me means what? To suffer me. I can do whatever nonsense, but those people used to be there to suffer. But tomorrow onwards, whom should I shout at? I don't have anybody to shout at. Wife will not allow. Children will not allow. There is nobody to shout at. Number two, earlier when I used to go out, many people used to, Namaste sir. But I don't know whether how many people will, as if that itself is making you a person. Number three, earlier used to enjoy life means to be able to spend money. Now my income sources and my position have changed. People may not come to me, or I may not be able to really command that kind of respect. You should command respect by your personality, but you're not by your position. You should command respect by your personality, but not by your position. And the last thing is, you are all youngsters, students, and most importantly, aspirants. You are aspiring something which is the topmost thing in our country. Should you be competent, or somehow you should get into it? You should be competent. You means you are equal to that service. You should raise up to that level. You should not get it by, the recent example. Somebody who faked everything. Have you read about it? Who? So don't use your intelligence. Don't use your intelligence for that lousy ways of getting things done. It is the lousiest way of doing or getting things done. You should rise up to that level. You should be competent enough. And as an officer, you should give confidence to others. When somebody approaches you, you should be able to give them that kind of a comfort, confidence to face a problem. Not only you facing a problem, but others also getting the feeling that yes, I can now face the problem. So you will become a public figure. When you are a civil servant, you will become a public figure. And as a public figure, remember, you are deserving it. You are deserving it. You have not grabbed it by a lousy way of. So I think now I should stop. No, I should stop here. It is 1:30. I think it's lunchtime for all of you also. What is your lunchtime? Huh? 1:40. 12:40. I'm sorry. So I stood between your lunch and. Oh, sorry. I think now we should stop. Isn't it? It's the right time to stop. Anything else? Now, if you have any questions or any doubts or clarifications or any suggestions, or be free and frank. Sir, what all you said is total nonsense. You can make that comment also. What all you said is, it's all heard. What's new in what you said? If you feel that there was nothing new in what I said, you can tell me that freely, so that I can change a little bit of nonsense in a different way. Was it a nonsense or sensible? It was sensible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If it is sensible, now if you have any suggestions or any kind of opinions or any doubts or clarifications, I would be happy, because I am extremely happy to see so many girls, young girls, aspiring to be in public service. It's not just that maybe all of you may not make it to IAS, but then certainly you will be in public service. All of you, without any exception, all of you will be in some level or other in public service. Certainly, absolutely. Once you have started, it's a good beginning, and you are at the right place. What all you have to do is be confident about yourself. Keep working. So that's why in the beginning itself I said, I was never a hard working student, but I enjoy. I used to read, of course, reading for pleasure. I used to read when I felt like reading. I used to read when I got bored. I used to read when I was thoroughly depressed also. So all the time, reading. But while reading, doing all other things also. But most of the time, I used to listen to radio, keeping it on, listening to songs, music, and all that. Keep on reading. So do whatever is comfortable to you, but keep doing. So no doubts, no suggestions, no clarifications. Please. Your name, please. Come.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Did you face any problem of pollution, sir?
Yes, we do. We do face problems because we must remember they are part of the system. See our subordinates. And we as IAS officers or IPS officers, really civil servant. Above, you have the political system, the political boss. But then, it depends on your personality again. Because after all, he is the one, he has his own opinions, his own experience, and his own priorities. If you are able to agree with him, okay. If you are able to convince him, it's okay. If it is not possible, just put it in writing and leave it at that. Because after all, you have taken your decision. Don't think that is the final. If your boss, that is your minister, takes a different decision, let it be. Again, you may tell him that this may create some problems and all that. If he listens, it's okay. If he doesn't, it is your duty to implement it. Remember that. Because after all, we are the instruments. We are not the ultimate bosses. Remember this. Civil servants are instruments in the hands of the state administration. We are not the bosses to rule around. So there will be political problems. And sometimes they will be very embarrassing also. Even then, don't take it to heart. Beyond a point, we feel bad. Sometimes it will be quite difficult also. Sometimes you feel totally frustrated. But then remember, I am not the ultimate decision maker. I am not the ultimate decision maker. I am facilitating to take a decision. That means what? Do not think you are above all, or do not think I am unable to do anything below others. No. You are there where you are. So, it is part of the system, part of the job. We have to face it. We have to face it. That doesn't mean you have to agree with whatever your bosses say. No. When somebody says something completely, against people's interest, they simply write and forget it. Let the system take its own decision. Yes. Face it. We have to face. Because after all, in any job, you have problems. This is one important problem. It's not that very simple thing. It's an important problem. But there is no other way. You have to face it. So it depends on you actually as a person, how you tackle the other person. If you are able to make the other person see the reason, you are fortunate. If he or she doesn't, then put it in writing and then leave it at that. Then Mike. Huh? Good afternoon. Sita. Rishita.
Well, I as a student normally I procrastinate. So I feel procrastination is an enemy for civil service examination. So how to overcome
Procrastination. You are doubting your own ability. That is a kind of a starting trouble. but begin. Actually, till you make a beginning, you feel something is really difficult and all that. But you have to break that yourself. What is the best day? Is there any best day or a bad day or anything like that? What is the best day? Today. When you want to do something, stop. You may fail. You may not be able to continue for long, but start. Don't think that you can do it in the afternoon or in the night, thinking that morning. And again, okay, in the afternoon. Again, okay, sometime in the night or next month. No. Right now. Do right now. Then you will know what are the problems. Actually, when you are not starting means you don't know what are the problems, but you are scared of the problems. But once you start doing, you will know the problem. Then your mind starts working. So remember one thing, don't read anything or everything to remember. Mind is the greatest instrument which has the knack of recalling things when it is needed. When it is needed. Read, that will in back of your mind. So that's why procrastination should not become your personality trait. And you will not have that luxury of procrastination in public service because they will not allow you. So start right now. Whatever you want to do, not only reading, anything. If you want to do something, start right now. Do it consciously. Don't give yourself that kind of, what is it? Some choice like, okay, I'll do this 5 days a week. I think, yes, he said the right thing. Okay, let me practice it from Monday onwards. And on Monday is not really, I think things are not really good. Thursday? Okay. Thursday, I think some friend has come. I think we have to celebrate. Saturday? Saturday, it looks like good, but Saturday is a weekend. After all, it's meant for what? Enjoyment. So let's do it on Monday. So these Mondays keep coming and going, and you'll be there where you are. So that's why, if you want to do something, do it then and there. Because once we know the problem, mind will take care of the rest. I tell you one thing, when we were writing the examination, they were testing our stock of knowledge. That means we had to simply recall an answer for a question. We had to simply recall an answer to a question. But now, your condition is totally different. You have to use the knowledge. It's not simply recalling and giving this is the right answer. Now you have to use the knowledge by choosing which of these things are suitable to this particular question. That's why you don't have the luxury which we had. Simply reading something and then remembering and then reproducing. Today, you have to work with it. So procrastination is not a choice. And you cannot have that luxury. And public will not give you that luxury. So that's why better you get used to the luxury of facing it. Then,
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon.
My name is Sonali, sir.
Sonali,
Sir.
Sonali. Okay, Sonali.
And I feel immensely privileged to get an opportunity to have an interaction with you, sir.
Okay.
Like, I want to know your take on the Justice K. Verma committee, specifically where the committee says that the criminal or the rapist should not get the capital punishments like hanging till death, even for the rarest of the rare cases, the most heinous cases like Nirbhaya or the present RJ.
So they said that even the rarest of rare cases also, capital punishment should not be there. Okay, actually, that's a much larger philosophical idea. Sit down. Philosophical idea, that is, we have to reach that stage where killing a person itself should not be a solution to a problem. But as on date, some societies, they punish small criminals. There is a saying, I think Egyptian or Abyssinian, that is, we punish people for small crimes and appoint criminals as judges or justices in the public service. We punish small people for small mistakes or small things and appoint criminals as judges and justices in public offices. So that is what is happening. All those people who are occupying higher places, doesn't automatically, you can't say that they are really good as persons or their personality is really. But then here the issue is, it's a philosophical idea, and for quite some time, except for the terrorist cases, Indian government is not resorting to that kind of a capital punishment. So here we can't say categorically a rapist should be hanged. You can't categorically say. What they said is that, but then in some cases, actually, fortunately, in most of the cases, judges are giving that kind of a punishment. Of course, as it goes up in the judicial system, they say that with conditions. That's what is being done. We can't say whether it is right or wrong. It depends on depending on the situation. They say it's like, but then by killing one person, you cannot guarantee that the rest of the people will be scared of doing the same thing. If that is so, world would have been a better place long time back. In the past, punishments used to be really cruel. You know what were the punishments? You know only one saying, tooth for tooth. What? What is the other one? Tooth and nail. How did that expression came about? Tooth and nail. That means fighting with whatever you have. And there, the judgment or the justice used to be tooth for tooth, nail for nail, hand for hand, head for head. And not only that, in our country, we used to have, in our glorious past, if you hear Veda, what should be done? The liquid lead should be poured into your ears so that you shall never listen to a recitation of Veda. And if you by mistake touch a Brahmin with your hand, that hand should be cut. And if you really kick a Brahmin with your leg, that leg should be amputated. Just for what? Listening. And if you read, the tongue should be cut. So this kind of punishments used to be there, really severe punishment, and then stoning to death. This punishment was for two, one for adultery, another for robbery. Can adultery take place without two people, a woman and a man? But always it is the woman who used to be stoned to death. Can there be a rape, or then can there be a kind of an adultery without a man and woman? But man is left free because he is a man. And woman stoned to death in public. Those things are happening even now. So that's why these punishments in the past were really cruel. But those cruel punishments could not change anything. But only thing is, earlier they used to do it openly, thinking that they are following their dharma. Now they are doing it out of the public glare, but still they are doing. Our people in our society at different places. Otherwise, why there could be a kind of a Nirbhaya case? Why there could be a kind of a Disha case? Why this girl in Kolkata? Why? Because basically, we have given an impression that woman is an object. Woman is an object to be enjoyed, to be controlled, and a woman can be killed. A woman can be killed in the name of what? Paru Hachalane Vinara, honor killing. In the honor killing, who is killed? Girl is killed. So, with all these things also, has our society changed? Not much. If that is so, after 75 years, with all the equal rights and all that Calcutta man, or even those bus conductors in Nirbhaya's case, or those people in those some riffraff kind of boys in Disha's case, why did they do it? So basically, things have not changed, but that should not make us what? Despair and escape. With all these things, we have to lead our life. We have to do our bit. Don't think we can feel bad about it and then forget about it. No. Let us do something. Let us do something, whatever that is possible, to make our society a better place than what we found. That is the ultimate thing. Ultimately, it's not that the responsibility is not alone on your head. Collectively, we have to achieve something. And these punishments also. Punishment is only kind of immediate deterrent. But that doesn't mean it is going to change the things once for all. So, that is the opinion they expressed. But in some cases, they are still giving that capital punishment. It is there. Anybody else or anything else? Come. Mic, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my question is about.
Your name, please.
My name is Udayashri.
Udesh. Okay. Udesh.
Sir, when you were into the civil service, generally you would have things like I want to do these changes. What are those? And if you achieve doing this?
So, did I achieve whatever I wanted to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are
No.
you satisfied?
Huh?
Are you satisfied?
No. No. See, one thing, it's a very, very long way. Society itself is the major obstruction. The major obstruction. That doesn't mean that you should get out of the society. You have to still live in the society, do whatever that you can do. That's why they see my personal opinions and my personal wishes was to see everyone as an equal. Everybody should enjoy the rights of a human being as an equal. Nobody should be at the mercy of anybody. And each one should be able to do things with his or her own ability, and the society should provide that kind of environment for each one to pursue his or her aspirations, so that each one feels that I am part of this big system. I used to have all those things, but then, so that's why I have chosen to work in social welfare departments. I think most of them I service. Perhaps I was the only one who worked in all welfare departments except women welfare. Maybe because since I am a man, they have not posted me in women welfare. But in rest of the welfare departments I worked. In India, inequality is not, it appears to be same, but not. Inequality is in different ways, different types, and this inequality itself will make all these people not to come together. You must remember, inequality appears to be same for a majority of the people, but this inequality itself will not allow them to come together. All the people who are suffering will never come together for the simple reason 50% of women, as a category, women. But because of the caste system, what happens? These women are divided into how many? 3,674 castes. Do they come together? They won't come together. Then similarly, men who are working, that is all the working men in various professions, they are 50% of the, not less than 50% of the population. And again, they are divided into how many? The same 3,674 castes. And SCs. You have, again, there are something like 1920 scheduled castes. And STs. You have not less than 1,250 or so scheduled tribes. Do they come together? Instead, they fight among themselves. So if that is the society, I could see the problem firsthand when I worked there as commissioner or joint collector of that particular community. So there, you cannot do whatever you want, or you cannot be satisfied. But at the same time, you will face problems only when you take serious issues seriously. If you take serious issues for publicity, that is different. But if you take serious things seriously, you will be troubled. So once you are troubled, it depends on your personality whether you get away from it or whether you like to face it as far as possible. So that's why I wanted the equality I wanted the freedom. I wanted people to grow on their own. That's why I've chosen, since that is in my hands, that is chosen, that is, I'll work for the welfare of the people. But then, I could not achieve anything. I tell you, I could not achieve any of those things. So that's why I have written as a kind of a confession of a civil servant, a book. After my very first posting, I was the project officer of Integrated Tribal Development Agency during 88 and 90 in Bhadrachalam. That is the largest ITDA working for the tribal communities. I was the project officer there. There, I could do many things, but then the real issues like land, the real issues like forest produce, giving a better price for forest produce, like giving them water for their land, see that their children get proper education. I could do. I tried. That is the time where we have started all these residential schools. That is the time where we used to conduct a kind of, what is that, public interaction program, that we used to go into the interior areas, calling all the people of surrounding villages, and talking to them one to one, so trying to solve the problems. But then, that's not everything. That's why I cannot say I was satisfied. But still, I'm not sorry. I don't feel sorry. I don't regret. I did my bit. Ultimately, what we should do? Do your bit. I did my bit. Now, after retirement, I don't think about anything else. I don't think about doing anything else like working as an advisor or going somewhere, spreading my great wisdom or telling people that what to do. I don't do any of these things. You know what I do? I do nothing. I do nothing. But remember, doing nothing is very difficult. It's not easy. Doing nothing is the most difficult thing. But for doing that difficult thing, what I do is, I keep reading, I keep writing. I keep reading, I keep writing. Somehow I put, because since I liked going into the jungles, grazing the cattle, because of that love for the nature, which was pristine some time back, now it is polluted. So that has given me an art of writing poetry. I keep writing poetry. Not saying that how this great land has all the beauties. No, not that. Poetry on the social system, social issues, social status. So I have published some 6 or 7 books of poetry, one book of short stories based on my own experiences. How you can fail as a civil servant. It doesn't tell you how to succeed. I told in that book how I failed. The idea is to tell you, don't enter the service with the starry eyes. Like I can do this, I can do that. I'm going to change the whole world. No. You cannot change anything except yourself. If you change yourself, that's the greatest thing. And don't have that kind of wrong impression that everything around me is bad. So I have a great responsibility of changing everything. No. Don't think that everything is bad, that's why should I do? That is also choice, isn't it? Since everything is bad, what difference I'm going to make? So let me enjoy. Can we take it as a choice? No. So that's why Udayashri, I was not happy, I was not successful, but still, I'm not regretting. Am I thick-skinned? Am I thick skinned? Not because I am not regretting about not doing anything or not achieving. I am not regretting about my service. I still believe that I have done whatever that I could. Today I don't feel like doing anything else to convince somebody. I don't seek approval of anybody now. Whether I was a good civil servant, as a bad civil servant, or a useless fellow, whatever. I don't need anybody's certification. When do you get it? When do you get that kind of a confidence? If you know how to stay without doing anything. Doing nothing means you should know what you want. You should know what you are to do. Big NOTHING. Do nothing. Things come your way. I think. Anybody else? Mike, please. Mike, please. Rashmi,
Sir, what is your opinion on present education system?
Present education system. Present education system has become completely commercial. It has become a business. So, in business, ultimately, how much money one makes, and what are the courses which will attract the students? How can I charge them? How much we can charge them? So, it has become completely commercial. Basically, job oriented, especially outside the country. So it's not really conducive for what is that? Conducive for a student to pursue his interests. That's true. It needs a lot of basic changes. Mike here. Mike here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Devyani, sir.
Devyani. Okay.
Sir, in your opinion, as a civil servant, what is your opinion about reservation, sir?
Reservation. It shall be there till this country becomes civilized, till this country becomes cultured, till this country respects equal opportunities. We don't have equal opportunities in the country because the society puts brakes at every level. See, women having all the knowledge, intelligence, capacity, they are being stopped at certain levels. That's called glass ceiling. Though technically they have the opportunity, but they'll be stopped at certain levels. Still, there are people who think that because of women's employment, men are not getting jobs. Is it true? Is it true? It's not true. So that means 50% of people, though they have a very right to realize themselves, if they are not being given an opportunity in a normal routine, should there be reservation or not for them? Should be there? And merit is getting affected is a kind of a myth. Merit is for whom? Merit is for what purpose? If a meritorious person becomes a kind of a criminal, there are many criminals who are more intelligent than the government officers. Otherwise, why many government orders are being violated? Because criminals are more intelligent. Today, government in India finding it difficult to catch those criminals. That's why they are employing criminals to make the laws. Because they know how a crime can be controlled, but they leave certain loopholes because after all, they are the people who are going to face that law. So that's why today what is happening is, though technically the constitution gives us reservations, but actually using it, getting the benefit out of it is not facilitated by the society in general. Then come to the basics. Who is the government, for that matter, any government? Who is the government to decide that certain people should be unequal? Certain people are not eligible for equal treatment. Who is the government? Who is the government to say that you should be like this? Who is the government? So, there what is happening? Even after, though in the first plan itself, it was said very clearly by Kalelkar committee, 52% of people of this country are in the working classes. And all these people should get an opportunity to education, employment, and the opportunity to enter politics. But even now, the same is being discussed whether we should have caste census or not. So what does it mean? We talk about equality, we talk about democracy. Are we allowing people to pursue what they can, or achieve what they want, or get an opportunity which they deserve? Are they getting? So do they deserve reservation or not? Then come to SCs. SCs are not one single lot. SCs are how many communities? So they are that many number of people who are fighting among themselves because everybody is using them. Every party, before elections, they say they extend reservation to a particular community. So ultimately what is happening is they are playing with these people who have been treated as subhumans, not just humans, subhumans. They said, in the name of Swadharma, have you heard of the term Swadharma? Huh? Our father of the nation, he went to Bhangis to tell them cleaning human shit with hands is a sacred duty. Can you treat it as a sacred duty? So that is our society. Those are our leaders. It's not about criticizing one particular Gandhi. Our leaders, our society, it talks about great things, does meanest of things. It talks about great things and make you to stoop so low to survive. So all these SCs are now fighting among themselves because they are not getting an opportunity. Then take STs. For STs are still treated as a kind of uncivilized. I don't know what is English. What is culture? Among STs, at least they have that kind of a feeling of when woman goes out, they don't feel bad. And there are also how many communities? So those people, many communities could not produce even a 10th class. Among SCs, many people who get admission into IITs, some of them are committing suicide in the name of merit. What does merit mean? Merit is to undermine the other person. Merit is to think in evil ways. Merit is to think in criminal ways. What is for merit? So that's why merit is a kind of a myth. Merit comes only when you get an opportunity. When you get an opportunity, then only you will show what you are capable of. Without getting an opportunity, how can you show? You can't show. It's like you holding your own hand and saying that, let me go, let me go. Who should let you go? When you are holding your own hand, nobody can let you go. Similarly, our society, though it says about great things, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but in our Kutumbam itself, like I told you in the beginning itself about Mandra Bhayamati. మా వంటింట్లో మా అమ్మే మహారాణి గిన్నెలన్నిటి మీద మరి 50% ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ని ఇప్పటికీ ఆ రకంగా ఉంటే బాగుందని చూసుకునే వాళ్ళు ఇప్పటికీ ఉన్నారు. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ యూ అండ్ సింప్లీ బికాస్ you eat beef, you are being punished. Do you agree with that? It's a choice. Or it's availability. Unfortunately, in this country, people who are eating beef are not eating because of they liked it or they like the taste. Basically, that was the only thing that was allowed, that was available, not allowed. That was the only thing that was available. And now you talk about culture. Eating beef is not uncultured. Can you say that? Culture is preventing you from your living. Why are you eating for? You are eating to live. And that is the only thing available to you. If somebody says in the name of culture, you should not eat it, will you call it a culture? It's not. It's called rule number 1 in the prison manual. Rule number 1 in social prison manual. Do you agree with it? So that's why we are a divided society. Small groups, divided to small groups, but making a large population. We claim that, what is that? Now we are the largest population, isn't it?